What's the goal of Kundalini awakening? Like, there are steps to it, but why does somebody would want to awaken their Kundalini, or why does it happen?
I will ask you, what's the goal of life?
To experience it.
But how are you going to experience life? Are you going to experience life from fear, working in a job that you hate, not having good relationships, and you call that life?
Mm-hmm.
Or living life from the heart, finding your passion, helping people? There is two choices. If your Kundalini is awakened, you're going to go to the second choice, because you're going to start living life from your heart, right? You start realizing, what is this? You understand that this doesn't exist. This is all matrix, right? You realize you are consciousness. You realize you are part of God, and you start having fun with life, not surviving life. That's unfortunately what not everyone, but most of the people are doing right now. We are trying to survive this life, not really living authentically. So that's what Kundalini, once it starts to awaken, even in the early stages, you will start tasting life. What is really life? Because you're going to have new awareness. You're going to wake up in the morning aware. You will make your choice. I'm not going to scroll on the phone because I'm aware. I'm going to do breath work. I'm going to connect with nature. Imagine you live a life like that. You make a choice in every moment in your life.
Wow. I think if my Kundalini is awakening, I would go one step up and one step back because of all the Instagram and Facebook.
No, I think you will snap out of it. Once the Kundalini is awakened, like why people, when they do ayahuasca ceremony, plant medicine ceremony, they have life-changing experience. They really stop these habits. Like, you will wake up and you will feel like you don't want to open your phone anymore, because you want that alone time with yourself and with nature. That's more important. Your priority will change. So you can reach that level when your Kundalini is awakening.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you also mentioned that if you're making right decisions in life, the way you look at life, you look at it from love rather than living it in fear.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say that anybody who's living their life with love, giving back to people, they are at peace, their Kundalini is awakened?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And even if you go to gurus and teachers, they will say the same. So these people, we are all in the same path, right? Me, you, these guru, we are just different levels. It doesn't mean you are spiritually awakened or your Kundalini is awakened, that it's peace and love 100% all the time. But that means you know how to deal with challenges, or your comeback time from a problem is quicker compared to us. You understand? So let's say my Kundalini is not awakened. There is a problem. It will take me 1 day to get over it. If someone is so aware, it will take him 1 hour to get over it.
Yeah.
There will be always challenges, even for the most advanced people. The difference is how much time you need to come back from it, to realize, oh, watch out, this is the matrix, and come back to your higher self.
That does sound fascinating.
Yeah.
This is something that I realized after being on that journey of meditation, spending time with myself and releasing my old patterns. And now if there's a challenge, it's easier for me to detach and be like, okay, this is not, let's say, a challenge. Maybe it's just a lesson that I have to overcome. And it does become easier because you're able to look at it from a third person's perspective.
Exactly.
Rather than actually be attached to it.
So I'll ask you what changed. I mean, I know you're asking me the questions right now, but just to make a point. So what changed between the old you used to get caught up in the problem, and the new you, that you could see the problem, you detach and you understand. So what changed?
You can still ask me questions, you know that, right?
Yeah, I know. So what changed, right? I'm asking you, what do you think changed?
I believe a lot of things. The first thing was...
I'll tell you one thing changed. One thing changed in you.
I started focusing on the inside rather than the outside.
Okay, what do you call that?
What do I call that?
Yeah, when you focus on the inside and not the outside.
There's a word for it?
Awareness.
Yes.
That's what changed. And that's what Kundalini is. Because Kundalini is not like some woo-boo, whatever energy. No, it's awareness. What changed between the old version? You have higher awareness right now that you can see it. When your Kundalini is more awakened, you will have more awareness than this right now. And imagine what you can create with bigger awareness than this. Imagine what choices in life you can make with more awareness. It's unlimited. Literally.
How do I know that my Kundalini is fully awakened then?
How do you know your Kundalini is fully awakened?
Like, what's the scale? Like, when you talk about, like, you know, you have those forms on the scale of 1 to 10. How did you have that experience? How do I rate that Kundalini scale? Is there even an end to it?
I think the end is after we leave this world and we merge with the source. That's the end of it. I don't think we can experience the end of it here. There is so many levels of Kundalini that you cannot finish in one lifetime, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like that, yeah.
Can you walk me through those levels?
There is a level of you're realizing, okay, I don't want this life. Like, okay, this is the matrix, this is it. You're getting curious. And then there is a level of working on your trauma. Like childhood trauma, forgiveness, shadow work. We call that shadow work. And then you come out from that shadow work lighter, and you are not angry on your past anymore. Your past doesn't trigger you anymore, right? So that's a big thing, because, yeah, so when the past doesn't trigger you anymore and it doesn't hold power over you, your relationships with yourself, your partner, your parents will start being better, right? Everything will align. And then you start looking for your purpose in life, because you don't accept working a corporate job or whatever. You would want to do something impactful, right? When the Kundalini is awakened, then you start looking for your purpose, you find it, and you align. So when your spirituality is aligning with your life, with your 3D, with your earth life, you know that you are on the right path of awakening. Again, it is not a destination. I know that you want to pinpoint it. It's not a destination, it's a journey. That is a journey. And even once you reach that journey, you have your passion, you have your purpose. There is other levels to that as well.
Wow.
More like accepting people, accepting that not everyone is as spiritual as you, being more tolerant, and there's so many other things.
Wouldn't somebody who's not going through this Kundalini awakening can also experience this? Because you're talking about working on your past traumas and childhood issues.
Yeah.
So how do you differentiate between somebody who's actually going through an Kundalini awakening versus somebody who's just working on their emotional triggers?
Yeah.
Is there a bifurcation, or because a person who's not going through a Kundalini awakening can also work on their childhood trauma just to be a better person, but not take that spiritual route?
Yeah. So again, you can work on yourself to be a better person, but again, what is self? It is just personality or a soul, right? Because you're talking about two different things. Because again, Kundalini, we're talking about soul, about the truth of this life. And when you talk about personality, you're talking about something 3D that will die in a few years. So if you are going through an emotional release, let's say you're working on your childhood trauma and all that, but then these triggers, they still trigger you. There is no awakening. Because awakening, it means realizing that you are not those triggers. That's what awakening is realizing I am detached from this. So if you are still getting triggered, still being rude, still getting irritated from people, even when they are not good with you still, it means that's not an awakening. That's release. You're working on yourself. Awakening is when you reach a point where you are flowing with everything, flowing with life, accepting, less controlling, being okay with people, no matter who they are, good or bad, and understanding that everyone has his own journey.
My question is, if I were to take this and incorporate whatever you said into my journey, let's say I have a belief that I have to work on.
Yeah.
I am actively aware that it's a belief that it doesn't align with my true self.
Okay.
But I constantly sometimes juggle with it. I tend to attach myself to it, but sometimes I don't.
Okay.
So
what do you need to do?
What do I need to do in that case?
Well, you have to work on that belief. My question is, how did you work on your other beliefs? So you said before in the past, some beliefs, they don't hold power over you, right? How did you reach that point? Usually, first thing is therapy. Therapy is always very good. I'm talking not spiritual right now. Because you need to understand, you need to gain as much knowledge as possible about that belief so you can detach from it. So you need to try to gain as much information as possible. Let's say the belief is you get angry because someone shut the door. So with therapy, they will try to make you understand why that belief triggers you so much. And for sure, it's related to childhood. So you go back to childhood, you try to understand what happened, and you try to reprogram. You do this mentally with a therapist. You can do that energetically, which is called release. So let's say you're working on anger. So there is some frequencies that you can listen to, or some practices like Kundalini yoga or some breath work that will really reduce your anger. If, for example, you get irritated because someone shut the door, for example, so you will have the awareness like, okay, I can take 3 deep breaths and I will not react to that. And you practice with that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times until it becomes part of you.
It becomes like subconscious.
Yeah, it will be the new you, right? But always, the ego always want to go back to the old you. He'll be like, oh, come on, how are you accepting this? You should shout on this, right? That's when the awareness comes. No, this is a new me. I want to be this type of person. I don't want to be reactive. I don't want this problem to hold power over me, right? I want to be calm. I can hold space for people. So it comes from the inside.